Hello, dear students. Today we are going to study about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, the Forward Bloc, and the Indian National Army. Let's have a look at Subhash Chandra Bose's life. Subhash Chandra Bose, he was generally known as Netaji. He was one of the most prominent and highly respected leaders of the Indian independence movement against the British Raj. In 1920, he cleared the Indian Civil Service examination and joined the civil service. He resigned in 1921 as he did not wish to serve the British Crown. He was imprisoned 10 times and spent almost 8 years in prison cells. At the age of 24, he entered active politics, and in 1923, he became a Swarajist. Subhash Chandra Bose was elected president of the Indian National Congress for 2 consecutive terms, but resigned from the post following ideological conflicts with Mahatma Gandhi. Bose believed that Mahatma Gandhi's tactics of non-violence would never be sufficient to secure India's independence and advocated aggressive resistance. He established a separate political party, the Forward Bloc, and continued to call for the full and immediate independence of India from British rule. Now we are going to study about the differences which were there between Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose. Firstly, Subhash Chandra Bose was against Gandhian policies and programs. He had very little belief in the constitutional means and peaceful methods for the attainment of freedom. He was a revolutionary and favored armed struggle to oust and end the British imperialism. He was ready to seek foreign assistance to achieve his goal. He believed in employing tact and diplomacy while dealing with his opponent. Secondly, he was in favor of socialism and formed the Forward Bloc to establish a socialist society in India after independence. This was against the policy of Mahatma Gandhi. Subhash Chandra Bose advocated that the political instability of wartime Britain should be taken advantage of rather than simply waiting for the British to grant independence after the end of the war. Gandhi and Nehru wanted to adopt a compromising attitude and oppose the national struggle during the war. In 1939, Subhash Chandra Bose launched the National Planning Committee for drawing up a comprehensive plan of industrialization. However, Gandhiji was opposed to it. He favored small-scale industries to make the villages self-sufficient. The leaders of the movement of the people of princely states expected sympathy and cooperation. Bose wanted the Congress to help the people in their struggle for freedom, whereas Gandhi was opposed to any intervention. Now we are getting to the formation of Forward Bloc. The Forward Bloc was formed on 3rd May 1939 by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who had resigned from the presidency of the Indian National Congress on April 29th after a rift with Gandhiji. The formation of the Forward Bloc was announced to the public at a rally in Calcutta. Bose became the president of the Forward Bloc and S.S. Kevesher its vice president. A Forward Bloc conference was held in Bombay in the end of June. In August the same year, Bose began publishing a newspaper titled Forward Bloc. He travelled around the country rallying support for his new political project. Now, the objectives of the Forward Bloc were liberation of India with support of peasants, youth and other organizations. After attaining independence, Forward Bloc would work for the establishment of a socialist state through reorganization of agriculture and industry on socialist terms, abolition of zamindari system, introduction of a new monetary and credit system, world peace, disarmament, and friendly relations with socialist nations like Russia. Now let's get to the Indian National Army, INA, Indian National Army, or Azad Hind Fauj, was an armed force formed by the Indian nationalists on 1st September 1942 in Southeast Asia during World War II. It became the military arm of Indian Independence League. The aim of the Indian National Army was to overthrow the British Raj in colonial India with Japanese assistance. Now we are getting to the objectives of the Indian National Army: to organize an armed revolution and to fight the British Army with modern arms. As it wasn't possible for Indians staying in homeland to organize an armed revolution, this task was passed to Indians living abroad, particularly in East Asia, to organize a provisional government and free India in order to assemble all forces effectively. Total mobilization of Indian manpower and money for a total war. Now, the role of INA in the freedom struggle, that is Provisional Government of Free India. On 21st October 1943, Subhash Chandra Bose established the interim government of independent India, which was recognized by countries like Japan, Germany, Italy, China, Burma, Korea and Ireland, etc. The slogans, remember the slogans please: Jai Hind and Delhi Chalo. Jai Hind and Delhi Chalo. Give me blood and I shall give you freedom became the battle cry of the Indian National Army. Soon Japan gave the islands of Andaman and Nicobar to Subhash Chandra Bose. In that way, these Indian territories came under the occupation of the interim government. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose kept the names of these islands. Please remember the names of the islands of Andaman and Nicobar as Shaheed and Swaraj. In December 1943 AD, the Indian flag was hoisted on these islands. Now the Red Fort trial, that is the role of INA, second role of INA. The INA trials or the Red Fort trial refer to the court-martial of a number of officers of the INA between November 1945 and May 1946, variously for treason, torture, murder, etc. The prisoners would potentially face the death penalty, life imprisonment, or a fine as punishment if found guilty. The first joint court-martial of Colonel Prem Sehgal, Colonel Gurbaksh Singh Dhillon, and Major General Shah Nawaz Khan was held in a public trial at Red Fort. Nearly all the defendants in the first trial were charged with waging wars against the King Emperor as well as torture, murder and abetment to murder. The trio were defended by the INA Defence Committee formed by the Congress and included legal luminaries of the time including Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Desai, Kailash Nath Katalu and etc. These trials attracted much publicity and public sympathy for the defendants who were perceived as patriots in India. Now we getting to the achievements of INA. INA with Japanese army won many territories in Southeast Asia. In May 1944, INA captured Modoc, an outpost situated in Southeast Asia of Chittagong. In 1944, they reached frontier of India. They captured strong military post of Kaing Kaing. gave tough fight to British force in Assam Hills and successfully captured Ukhrul and Kohima. They raised and hoisted tricolor flag for the first time on the liberated Indian soil on March 19, 1944. Thank you, students.